Hello, how are you? Whoops, the microphone is in front of my nose instead of my mouth. So I hope you can hear my voice okay. Well, as you can see, I do have the nasal voice because of the allergies. Uh, this spring allergy this year is worse than last year's. My goodness. As a matter of fact, I am going to see my doctor tomorrow. And of course, I would go through the usual checkups, uh, including uh, checking my weight, height, blood test, and uh, what else I forgot? Oh, yes, my urinal uh, screening. So it's gonna take a few hours uh, before I get out of the hospital since I start seeing my doctors. Well, first I'm gonna have to do uh, the procedure of admitting into the hospital. Then after everything's finished, then I will have to go to the pharmacy or drugstore or the chemist to receive, well, I would say to buy uh, the medicine which my doctor usually prescribe for me. So it's you're talking about almost like a half day. So I'm gonna start early tomorrow morning. As a matter of fact, I started to live in a new apartment here. This is my second day. Still, my apartment is a mess. Uh, the boxes are everywhere. You know, they're all stuck and packed boxes everywhere. I don't know where some of my kitchen utensils, cooking utensils, eating utensils are, and I don't know where some of my books. Uh, for example, the pair of scissors, which I have many, but I only find a little one, the only one of them. So it makes it more difficult to open up some of the packages and the stuff without nice big scissors. Also, the old apartment, I have a leek tree, which I seeded. Then, after more than 10 years, uh, it grew up, became a big tree, and it gives me uh, several fruits, well, sometimes more than 10 fruit every early spring, early summer, I would say. But I'm gonna have to give it up because my apartment is too small and the tree is too big for any cars or trucks to carry that into my uh, much smaller apartment now I started to live. The size of the apartment is smaller than, well, of course it's smaller than, but I would say less than a half size of my old apartment. So you can imagine how much I had to give up and lot of stuff, not only clothes, but also books, shoes, uh, videos, uh, clothes, just about almost every kind of things I used to have. I have to check them out. I would say throw them out or dispose it. Um, throw them away, just give up and make it simple. I'm gonna have to start the absolutely minimum lifestyle. That's what I decided. And I hope I will keep it up with it. Yeah, of course, there isn't any storage. So uh, only I could think of is to throw more stuff. Then try not to add more things or buy more things simply just because they would not fit. I do not have enough space for them, unfortunately. But then the apartment rent is also lower than before, so that's a good thing. I should be able to start saving some money, I hope, for my retirement. My goodness, I hate to think about it or even talk about it, but that's the reality. Well, do you know behind me there, I think a tulip sprouts. They started to come out, and I hope they're going to grow and show me the tulip flowers. Now, some flowers, or blossoms even, are edible. Some plants, buds, leaves, stems, even roots. People sometimes use them for cosmetic to make perfumes, to make uh, seasoning food when you cook. Or sometimes they use for medicine to make. And we call them herbs. Well, herbs, that's the American people usually say, which is the French language influence. So, first H, they don't pronounce it. Yet, in Britain, many people say herb. They pronounce H. Uh, I don't know why they do it differently. Anyway, the herbs, I used to use a lot of and love using that's called basil. Uh, that's Americans say, but I mean many British people say basil. Uh, then French people say basil. I guess then Italians probably say basilico or something like that. Anyway, in Japan, you say, they say, I think, basil. And often the package say sweet basil. That's very strange because sweet is English and basil would be French. Well, English should be sweet basil or sweet basil. Since sweet is English, but then Japanese sweet basil. That's very strange. Mixed with half English and half French. They mix. So sometimes when I say basil or basil, they would not understand. And when I say basil, and they understand, ah, very strange. Also, talking about mixed with the English and no English foreign words. Uh, that was the apartment I used to live. And the name of the apartment building was Urban Heim. Again, urban is English, but Heim, that's German. English should be Urban Heights, but then the apartment name was Urban Heim. And I used to be ashamed of saying it because I was so embarrassed. And many people thought that was English. Even my landlord, as well as the real estate agent, they thought they're all English. Well, it's wrong. Many apartment buildings in Japan are kind of almost embarrassing. Some of them really, really long. And my new apartment now here, I started to live since yesterday, has a very long and almost stupid sounding apartment name, which I don't like. Uh, and I still haven't uh, been able to say my new address without reading my memo. So it's gonna be my task. Before April, I should be able to memorize uh, the new postal code in America, zip code, and my new address, and of course, numbers, apartment, names, everything. Anyway, um, the herbs I'm talking about. I used to love, yes, and use tons of basil. But now I rather like what you call oregano, in Americans say. But Australians and the British people often say oregano, oregano or oregano, both in English, but it sounds like a Latin word to me, perhaps Italian or Spanish or maybe French or just original Latin. I don't know. But anyway, I use the oregano more than basil recently. I don't know why it happened. Uh, Another herb that I thought it was very interesting is the name is sansho. And that's a Japanese herb, I would say. Although Japanese people don't identify that as herb, but to me, that's a herb. It's their spiky, hard, kind of like a bush kind of tree, and the tip of each branch uh, has a small, really, really nice smelling leaves, very tiny leaves. And apparently, they also produce some seeds. And the seeds have kind of like a little tingling or tangy or kind of a spicy hotness when you eat it or chew it. Often people use that for in Japan, I'm talking about um the kind of like a barbecued eel uh or some Chinese uh oily stuff has, of course, very hot, like a chili pepper kind of hotness. And also this sancho herb kind of like a make your tongue little, not a numb, but a kind of like a vibration uh, to your tongue. Uh, Kind of makes you a little bit tingling. So it's different from kind of a wasabi, kind of like a hot air or cool air, whatever it goes ting onto your nose. Different from that. Also, kind of like a red chili spice, the kind of like a really, really spicy hot. Not that, or kind of like a black pepper or green peppers. You put sort of like a real hot, not that either. And it's not a salty, but Sancho herb makes your tongue vibrate. I don't know how to describe it. And that's one of also my favorite as well. Um, that's a really, really beautiful thing too. I used to think those leaves were herbs. Um, some people sort of they put the little leafy branch of Sancho and they just bang, sort of like a kind of got hit that. And if you did do that, those leaves start to smell. And I thought that's the essential herb that people use for cooking and eating. No, that was the season of the sancho that they use for eating and cooking, which I discovered only a few years ago. What a shame. But I like them. Uh, I used to have a little planted sancho tree or branch tree or something, a little small tiny this one. And when they started to grow, oh my goodness, I had a big caterpillar eating the leaves. Oh my goodness. But that was okay because I wanted to see it turn into a butterfly. But before that happened, when I was cleaning my room, I hit uh, a piece of furniture on which the Sancho plant was on. Then I knocked it out uh, uh, down and I saw it, the tree, everything on the pot, in the pot, on the floor, and it's all scattered and dirt everywhere. Eventually, I killed that tree. So I never got to see the butterfly, and I never got to it really fully grow to become mature tree, unfortunately. Now, my new apartment has a little garden. Uh, I would say the yard. Right now, it's really bad. It's like a desert. And of course, when spring comes and summer comes, all those weeds grow so tall. And I'm gonna have to do weeding. My gosh. But before that, hopefully I can plant some grass. I hope. Um, but I don't know. I heard it's kind of difficult to do it from scratch. But anyway, I'll try. And I would like to have some small little roses called woody scented roses, I think. That's a Japanese name, I guess. I just translated it in English. I would like to have both colors, yellow, I mean light yellow and white. That would be nice. And maybe some hydrangea. Of course, I would love to have some irises, which might be too difficult for me because I'm not a good gardener or a beginner. So, as much as I want it, uh, I'm gonna hesitate because I love that flowers very much. It might take up all my time for trying taking care of the irises. So I could see that already. So I'm gonna refuse having the irises, unfortunately. Something has to be very simple and easy for me. Otherwise, I cannot continue my garden or yard to look better. What else? Yes, that a fruit tree that I'm gonna have to give up because they're tall, which I'm gonna have to prune, means cut down the branches and well, destroy it before I get out in my old apartment. There are so many things I have to do before I leave that place completely. First of all, I have to stop the gas, electricity, water, and I'm going to let them know about it. And finally, I'm going to have to also let the real estate agent to come and take a look, and they're going to check out everything is okay. Then I'm going to have to return those keys, including with some spares. Then that's it, it's finished. I can't wait. I loved my old apartment. It was large enough, um, very close to the train station. The train station, particularly that I lived there near there, uh, had two different train lines, and it's one of the large main train stations. So there are four different speeds of trains, and every train stops there. And the other line also stops. There are two speeds, and both of them stop. It's really convenient for commuting. Yes, very, very much. But I could not afford keeping that place anymore. It's expensive. And also the landlord doesn't do anything. The landlord never took care of me uh, well enough. I had to live there without hot water in my kitchen for last 6 months. When they stopped the hot water for the kitchen, because the hot water maker, the gas burner, whatever, broke, and there was a pipe had a leakage. So they had to stop. I told them about it. I told my landlord about that last May, yet never fixed them, and I could not use hot water at the kitchen. I could refuse paying my last rent because it's not a livable condition, and my landlord should have fixed it. Uh, Before last summer, last year, never did. Top of that, he charged me more than 60,000 yen for water bill twice. I can't believe it. What kind of people? My landlord and his family. So I refuse to live there anymore. Ah, no, thank you. Now, my small apartment, very small, very, very small. It's this little box, and I have to become like this. Oh well, but the rent is almost a half of the rent I was paying. So that's a good thing. But it is like a 15 minutes walk from the nearest train station. And the second nearest train station, it takes about 20 minutes or something like that. So it's pretty far. The two elementary schools are nearby. So during they're going to school, coming back home from the school, that's noisy. Or Sunday, Saturday, of course, that's noisy. The kids are screaming. But in the evening, it's very quiet. I don't hear any train. Of course, my train stations are so far away. But I lived uh, just a few meters away from train track, my old apartment, the large one. So train noise when it runs and pass my apartment, um, it's very noisy and it shakes. Even I could not hear the television, or I even could not continue having a conversation when the train's passing. So that was a big stress for me. And on top of that, the upstairs, the family, my goodness, they are really, really crazy monsters. I cannot really believe that how they walk, how they run up and run down the stairs. Oh, and it is not only the afternoon, it's early in the morning, and sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh, it really drove me crazy. I nearly became crazy here, really. So I'm happy to get out there. Although living in this small new apartment is stressful, of course. So nothing's really, really perfect, is there? But still, life goes on. Anyway, that's my news at the moment. I'll see you next time. I'm sorry. I think I talked quite nonsense this time. I guess it's the stress because I'm moving now. A lot of stress, my goodness. But life still goes on, of course. Okay, take care of yourself. Bye for now.